Oh, we have a full house tonight?
We do have a full house tonight.
Oh my god, yay! Is my picture alright? Did the right picture come up?
Oh, let me have a look.
You look lovely.
You have a picture?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've got the
your holes
pictures
are
turned
great.
off.
Wow, which picture?
Let's make that bigger so I can see everyone's face.
I forgot to...
I mean, my camera's been set up from the last 2 weeks. You could really... Do you really want to see my face?
do it.
No. I have raccoon eyes going on.
I think I do too.
I'm 3 colors.
Yeah, I know.
It's the Neapolitan.
So far we have an ice cream, someone getting blown. What else have we got?
Who's getting blown? I haven't heard from Simon for a while.
Oh yeah, no,
He was
he's
the one you would be hearing from him.
three sheets to the wind or 3 pints to the wind. What was it?
3
How
pounds.
dare you?
Three
3
Germans
pants to the wind.
Mess it up.
Sorry, Si.
Oh, no, I'm not. This is my first beer of a busy, tiring day, so I'm just in meditation mode.
Very nice. We've got a little bit of robot voice coming through from you, but I can still hear you.
Okay, a moment.
Oh, you're fine for me.
Yeah, you're fine for me too.
Ooh.
No, he had robot voice. It was bad.
No, it definitely isn't something I would call bad. Like, I didn't hear robot voice at all.
It's
Right.
only a
Must be-
I
moment.
have to change it.
Must be a dodgy connection. I want to try and get the steak ready, but the cat's fucking watching me.
That cat. Jesus Christ. She likes you a lot.
Like, she's adorable, but, like, get your own food. Ah, fuck, I feed you.
Oh, damn. Alright, well, I guess, hey, we're kicking on, so why not start sounding off to where we got to last time? So we can make a bit of progress. Okay, that's that channel. Let's check in that channel. This one. This is what happened last time. Alright. So, when we last left off, yeah, okay, so the previous session was when basically took out those young Remoras, which was pretty interesting, and then Weiss was out for a session. She decided to take one of the axe beaks and head off back towards Hundlestone with the group of travelers that were trying to get back safely. They were trying to get back without, you know, losing their lives. So yes, strategic or tactical withdrawal for one session anyway. But things got interesting with the encroaching darkness coming. We had a heck of a challenge with a couple of very odd enemies that were pretty hard to hit. Someone's sawing an onion?
Sorry, no, I was grinding copper.
I thought someone was making a cocktail. Like, someone's getting lit up.
I put myself on here.
Jeez, thank you for reminding me, Isaac, I should start drinking.
Yeah, I was like, someone's starting the heavy drinking. Okay, cocktail night.
When do you stop heavy drinking? It's the only way to get through this fucking pandemic.
It's the only way to live.
Oh, only the pandemic. Okay.
I have a life outside of COVID.
Somewhere.
Oh.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
So far away. So long ago.
Just keeps going. Well, that's what gin's for.
What?
I'm on the vodka tonight rather than the gin, which is rare.
Gin's next, but someone gave me homebrew cider. I'm finishing that off.
Who's doing homebrew cider?
One of my other D&D friends.
So...
No, not you guys.
Ah, okay. No, I just assumed it was side because of cider.
That is
This person
terrible.
also makes wine, like homebrew wine, and his own
Oh.
beer. So, and I'm owed a bottle of wine as well for doing a favor. I'm so
Nice.
sorry. We keep interrupting you, Cam.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay.
I didn't mean to disrupt you by sawing onions.
No, that's all good. Look, we can take it easy. No biggie. So yeah, just kind of succinct it all up. One kind of run-in that was pretty tricky. There was a couple of bits and pieces to take into consideration. But you guys managed to pull on through, which was not unusual. But we basically, in the more kind of immediate kind of section, we got to a point where we hunkered down in a blizzard, and with a bit of teamwork, setting a couple of caravans together, set to break the wind, and also the use of tiny hut to kind of keep people rotating and keeping them warm, and also creating a bit of a non-stop tea party as well, courtesy of the Magicianess. Still a little bit of distance between yourselves and Bryn Shander, but we're getting there. If anything, you guys have found your stride for traveling through this area, which is nice, which is not a bad thing at all.
Only good things come out of my box.
Wow.
As
What goes
opposed to,
What comes in them?
as opposed to what comes out of your chest, right?
Exactly, yes. Oh no, you don't want to touch my chest.
Yeah, the chest is terrifying. The box is great.
Oh my god, there's two different things.
And the confusion begins.
There's
It's a
probably
quadruple
a few more if
entendre.
you there's probably a few more if you know where to look.
It's like Dali with all of those weird drawers coming out of women. Very strange.
I don't know that reference, so I'm even more confused now.
That was the intention.
So, like,
All right. So, as you guys have settled in, the blizzard has run its course, and we're now at a standpoint where, look, I rolled to see how many hours the blizzard would stay around for, and it wasn't long. It was basically all of 2 hours.
People with ADHD.
So now that 2 hours have passed, the blizzard subsided. What do you guys want to do next?
I can't remember. Did we have a short rest or a long rest, or did we just stop for the
Yeah.
blizzard?
Yeah, but that's still considered a short rest if you're wasting. If you're resting for 2 hours.
Okay.
No, I think Sean's like, did we take a long rest and then get stuck in a blizzard?
I think it was a short.
We
It was
did
a
not.
short. It was a short.
So we got 2 short rests.
Yeah, I say.
am I short rested or long rested or?
Yeah, at this point, I would say you catch up. You weren't far, so kind of trotting in on the back of the axe beak, you're able to find the camp really, really easily. It's only been set off a little bit off to the side. There's no fire, but yeah, you're there. You've come back into the fold.
And you had an easy time as well, apparently, so I guess you would have long rested between now and when you left.
Short rest or long rest?
So you've been gone for like 2 days, so I'm sure you had a long rest in there. Unless you ran into some trouble we don't know about.
Hasn't been too long. I'd say short rest.
Oh, cool.
She's been quick on the trot. All right, and we've got our spot on the map that we've got up at the moment as well. So we're just kind of come through the pass, just about to go over the spot that's called the Red Run. So it's basically a frozen lake or a frozen river. And then it's basically tundra between the river and Bryn Shander. It's a whole lot of cold.
So how long is it until
We are.
dark?
So yeah, we're in the dark now. So we're officially in the Vale. You've made that that pass over into the night. It's definitely cold and dark.
Let me rephrase. Are there differences in the darkness? As in, is it eternal night, midnight all the time? Or is it alternate between, like, let's call it twilight, you know, like 7 or 6 o'clock in the evening versus, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So you'd be able to
Does it
discern
vary?
this from Weiss. Weiss has been in this neighborhood with it being in this state. And look, it's not great. You might get 4 hours of slightly lighter darkness every couple of days, probably every 2 to 3 days. But the rest of the time, it is black as night.
Black as night. Wait, what's the
That's
rest?
not good. Fair. Who doesn't have dark vision?
The humans.
And me.
Basically.
2 of the
But you
humans.
have
are
to
This
goggles,
feels
though, yeah?
really racist, honestly.
I'm a dwarf. Oh, sorry, no, I'm a halfling. I don't have it.
is based on race, so you are 100% correct.
Oh shit, that reminds me.
Who has... Sorry, Lara, didn't you have fancy goggles
And?
to help you see in the dark?
Oh, interesting.
And?
I should have rolled those separately, sorry,
I'm just
Cam.
double
Oh,
checking,
good.
like, who, like, because you could wear your goggles all the time and you could technically see in the dark.
Yeah, I could do this with goggles.
Advantage most of the time.
Alright, well, if
I'm
it's
trying to find my goggles tonight.
based on how far are we from Bryn Shander? Like, let's assume we're going at a slow pace. How long do you think it would take us to get there?
Yeah, look, I think going slowly. Look, I think we're about 3 days out if we take it slow and steady.
And are we in shape to go for continue onwards? Like, are people badly damaged or?
Yeah,
what's-
how does everyone feel?
I'm pretty good.
Well, yeah.
Damage is not a concern, but spell slots is. I would be good for 2 more fights,
Yes.
and then I'd be out.
All right, so
I didn't actually. That's right. I was charging in, the battle was over before I got 21, so I haven't used any.
He's feeling great. Legs are a
Alright,
little
so-
tired.
it sounds like that we haven't used major resources, so we could continue onwards for a period of time. So, does anybody object if we like continue on for, I don't know, let's just call it 6 hours and then stop and take a break?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yep, I'm down.
Barring no one saying anything else, we'll
Yep,
do that, Cam.
that
if
sounds
that's
good.
right. But everybody's keeping an eye out, you know, no one, you know, looking, especially for that dickhead who shot us and ran away. Who shot us
Absolutely.
because he shot us with snakes.
He got the hell out of there when its whatever its thingies were managed to get trumped. Yeah, it was out of there.
He killed my familiar.
He
Oh,
did.
the rudeness.
Jerk.
Bastard.
Poor little owl.
Well, I mean, you maybe, I was assuming you were going to recast your spell whilst we're like traveling.
Yeah, if there is opportunity.
I mean, it's a ritual spell, so you can sit in the truck.
That's true. Whilst having presiding over tea in the bubble, I will just ritual cast Find Familiar, I suppose.
Oh yeah, shit, I'll do the same thing.
I'll still
So
trap
sweet to have
my
it.
gold.
Alright, so Cam, that's it. We continue onwards, keep the eyes out, there's some familiars around.
Excellent.
Like,
I
Alright.
want to
don't know,
ask
Isaac,
Weiss.
I'll use an owl.
What was that?
I said, don't know about you, Isaac, but I'm gonna use an owl again.
Yeah. I want to ask Weiss, where is her town? Where are her folks? Because I'm eager to perform for them.
They tried further to the north from memory. They literally had to go through find out. It was a They're no nomadic tribe, weren't they?
They've actually they are a nomadic tribe, but they have been in a single location for quite some time now. Since you were young, when you first came to the tribe was when they kind of settled down in what's known as, oh Jesus, can't remember. I'm gonna have to look at the DM map to remember what the hell it's called. It's been a while.
That's a very long name for a town.
Wormdoom Crag was the spot that you're
That's
from.
also a very long name for a town.
It is also very long. And yes, it's very... From your location now, or once you hit Bryn Shander, you'd have to head very east and very, very close to where the sea has turned to ice.
Well, anyway, we're heading to Bryn Shander to begin with, and then I guess we'll make decisions from there.
Yeah, they'll probably have more information. Oh, hopefully.
See what they say.
Hopefully. All right.
I wonder if the town Goodmead has any good names.
Hopefully it's named after
That's
something.
probably shit.
Otherwise, I want my money.
Like, it's a marketing ploy.
Tourism shit. This place has got no booze.
Like,
This pub sucks. You know what we should do? The Australian naming method. You call big guys tiny.
All right. So making some headway, breaking camp, packing everything up, dispelling Tiny Hut, and everyone getting ready to move together as one over the Red Run. Oh, pardon me. It doesn't take long for you guys to hit the Red Run. Probably an hour at the most. It's pretty easy going from here now that the weather's eased off, which is nice. Let me pull us up to that spot around about there. And when you do come across the Red Run, it is frozen solid. It looks like it hasn't moved for a really long time. Having a guide that's probably known these lands before everything was frozen over, a little bit of melancholy. It's always a shame to see everything kind of so dark and so dismal. I mean, not that Icewind Dale is ever a cakewalk, but it's even harsher now than ever. Going to get... Actually, I'm imagining Weiss is probably going to be heading up the kind of leading of the convoy. If I could just get a survival roll, and if I could get someone to nominate for the perception roll.
I shall do this survival mission. It shall be a 13.
That's a good roll.
I have a +4 in perception.
I got a 5. Laura, what do you got?
Into a
Perception.
sorry. Perception. Disgrace. +9.
Oh, Laura's gonna do the perception.
Yeah, Laura's doing that.
Oh god. What do my human eyes see? Sorry.
It's still good. It's still good. So now that the winds begin to dissipate and things are not so kind of crazy with the blizzard, you've actually got limited but good awareness of what's going on. As you scan around... Oh, how do I do this to myself again? Hang on. GM... One of those. Hey! You don't see anything around. And also with the duo of owls that have gone up and are trying to kind of seek out what's going on ahead, they've got pretty good vision. They're not impeded too much. It's still pretty crazy. It's still pretty rough winds up there, but you manage to get by and can't see anything kind of blocking or being a problem within the immediate vicinity. So, hey, look, we're fine to travel on for a couple of hours.
Matt, what are you doing?
Grinding a lot of pepper, which I'm
whittling
assuming right
something.
now is a euphemism or something.
Like, if it
Sounds
sounds
like
like that, you should probably speak to a doctor.
Never mind pepper. It sounds like something's getting marinated.
No,
It's your arms. Are you arms?
yeah, it's just me having like a nervous tick rubbing my forearms. They're just like leather now. So I'm just cleaning cat hair off of the couch. I bought a de-shedder brush and cleaned like a full cat's worth of hair off the cat, and now I'm getting rid of the rest of the cat hair in the apartment.
Okay.
Sorry,
Slowly
I'm not
developing
used to
into a cat owner.
No, I'm trying to get
Funny.
rid of the cat hair.
Yeah, like every other cat owner.
Sorry, Shander will come back at some stage. It might be in the next 2 weeks. It might be in 2 months. We're not sure yet.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize the microphone on these headphones was so sensitive.
Yeah. All right. All right. So what else is happening, Cam?
All right, first leg. What, you were going 6 hours forward before taking another pause?
Yeah, like just like you know, without actually knowing if it's evening, if it's time for resting or not, it's a bit hard. So we just take it as you know as we come, I guess. Like we don't want to push ourselves to an exhaustion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
gotcha. Okay, I'd say, look, pushing forward, I rolled for the weather, and the weather is absolutely fine. It's actually kind of perfect, well, in this circumstance anyway. So you're able to make more distance in the allotted time to travel, with Weiss knowing the road. Look, everything's snowed over, but she knows the way. You're not accidentally veering off with that survival roll, which is nice. And with Lara's perception roll, nothing that seems to be lurking or sneaking up on you guys, which is nice. The dice are with you guys tonight. Alright, so pressing on, now you're starting to clear through the kind of any semblance of trees, more so getting into the real tundra of the area. It's pretty featureless. It's dark, it's white and snowy, and there's nothing else. It is not fun, that's for sure. Just to keep you guys on the weather trail, can I get our perception and survival rolls again? Still pretty low DC because weather's good.
Alright, I'll guess I'll do perception.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
wow, you rolled a 1.
Ooh. So it's probably at this
That's a
point
natural no.
that Lara starts realizing that it has been a little while since you guys have taken a long rest. And she's starting to feel, it's not quite there yet, but she's starting to feel the kind of scrabble of exhaustion starting to get to her. Yeah, it's getting to that point now. You've got not too much further to travel. I was going to say 3 days, but look, I think we're making good headway. And narratively, hey, let's not get bored. But Weiss is able to keep you guys on track really, 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 really well. Let's roll for some weather. Hey, that's still pretty fair. You do note that the snow starts to increase a little bit. Nothing to be concerned about. Nothing that Weiss would really kind of trigger to go, uh-oh, we better hunker down. Pretty much cloudy with a chance of snowballs? No. But what do you guys want to do? As far as Weiss can tell you, it's not that far to Bryn Shander. Do you want to push through, or are you going to try and hunker down for a long rest in the wild?
What does not long mean?
We're on the map, aren't we?
We're on the map.
The DM has moved our little baby token on the map.
Yeah, but I mean, what does long? It's still hard to understand. You know, like it's hard to estimate. If that makes sense. Pushing through would be what, like pushing through for a few more hours, for for like overnight. What are we talking about?
Guess it depends on how the weather treats you guys between here and there. At a guess, I was saying slow pace. It would take 3 days, but you've had some really good rolls on the weather side of things, and you're almost at the halfway point between where you started off and hitting Bryn Shander. So,
Well, okay. Here's a suggestion, guys. What if the weather's good, why don't we keep pushing it until the weather turns, and then we'll hunker down? What does that sound like?
We do have Lehman's tiny hut. Someone does.
Yeah.
Or is that gone?
No, I haven't. I can do it.
But we still have to, you remember, build shelters for the animals. So, without
Look at those things.
pushing our habits, well, we keep going until so we don't push the animals into exhaustion. Does that sound reasonable? Or the weather changes, whichever comes first.
Yeah,
I
that sounds good.
agree.
Sounds fair. Sounds good.
We're in the darkness. We should try and strike for a town as soon as possible. There's no sense dilly-dallying, without, of course, risking exhaustion, that sort of thing.
All right, so we'll keep going. We won't push. We'll go, but we'll stop before exhaustion. But also, we'll stop before if the weather starts to change.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. So rolling, look, and keeping on, look, survival was absolutely awesome. And perception, it's a 10, but hey, look, that's okay. Weather stays fair. If anything, it starts to ease off again and almost becomes completely still. There's just the faintest bit of snowfall that is starting to kind of continue on. But it gives you guys a great opportunity to push ahead, which is nice. Say kind of rounding that first kind of mound on the tundra. Actually, probably even further, because that, for the weather side of things and being perilous for you guys, was terrible. Let's go to here. So it's at this point that in the distance with this weather, you can see that the unyielding darkness is showing some tiny pinpricks of light. And just as fast as it dimly shines, you can see that snow just kind of flurries and obscures it, like it never existed, but then there's another break in the weather and you can see it again. That kind of ceaseless whip of the icy wind is still there, and the crunch of snow is all that you can hear as the axe beats are kind of plodding along and dragging the caravan. But then again, another point of light, 2 more. So as you're drawing close, you can see the faint relief of a wall that is lined with torches. It's a walled town perched atop a very cold and a very lonely wind-lashed hill. I'd say you guys are getting pretty damn close here, but it's time to make a decision. Do we push on to Bryn Shander and take a level of exhaustion to get there, or do we stop with Bryn Shander in sight?
Might be better to stop with.
From memory, how established. So,
Well, we can rest once we get there as well.
Wait, no. How do we get rid of a level of exhaustion?
Rest.
You rest. Long rest.
That's only the
Doesn't-
sanity thing that doesn't go with rest.
See,
I
that
believe.
doesn't sound right.
Resting helps exhaustion.
how established is Bryn? Is it like 4 houses and an inn, or is it like a bit of the town?
No, Bryn
It
Shander.
would be really shit.
Yeah, Bryn Shander is the
Sorry.
largest town. It was the closest thing to a city in Icewind Dale. It's very much the nucleus, the hub of the entire Dale. So there are inns, there are smithies, places of worship. It's the biggest town that you guys are going to find in this area.
I say let's press on then, and we can rest up when we get there. If it's 4 houses and it's overrun by zombies, then we're absolutely fucked when we get there. But if it's big enough to protect us, then we should have some solitude there.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Weiss would know that Bryn Shander is basically like a large town that is just walled with defenses. It's a rough place. So this thing is on top of a mountain, or a small hill, completely surrounded, and is always manned as well. There's always guards in place. So yeah, if that's the push, then look, let's head in the rest of the way, and if everyone just marks off a single level of exhaustion.
Cam,
Yeah.
just as you're aware, I'm a Marine, so I can travel double the amount of time before I get exhausted.
Oh good. Oh good.
So, is that cool, or
Yeah,
Just
that's
checking.
fine.
No, it's not. Efficient.
What's that? Advantage on ability checks. Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So as the lights grow fuller, guiding you to the city gates, they are like 15-foot tall doors that are shut and barred at the main entrance. But you can see that the walls just continue along, or what you can see in the darkness, just continues as far as your sight will allow you, is just constant wall. This place looks very, very well fortified. As the caravan kind of shuffles to pretty much a stop right in front of the city gates, you hear someone call out, the age-old, "Who goes there?" But almost surprised. They're probably not used to seeing a heck of a lot of caravans.
We have a name for our party.
Sterling's Angels.
No, that is definitely not the name. That's the unofficial name. We're
Where did the snake's armpit come from?
Oh, that was back when I created the server ages ago.
traders from down south.
John's Mercenaries. That's about as anodyne as you can get.
So on seeing the caravan, you hear like a shrill voice behind the kind of fortification saying, "Open the fucking gate! It's a caravan! Open the fucking gate!" You hear like a solid thunk and a thump sound as you can hear the gates opening from within, and there's this kind of lurching creak as the doors swing back and ploughing into the fallen snow. You can see a company of about 10 grizzled guards standing at the ready, some with heavy crossbows, some with longbows, others with pikes, others with sword and shield, all kind of at the ready. They all look the same. You can see these grey furs just swaddled and padded around each body, and all of them are wearing the same style of helmet, kind of like the nose cross guard and pointy-headed helmet. And in the sparse guttering light, you can see the whites of very disbelieving eyes are very visible. They're a little taken back. They are a little taken back. One of them steps forward and just kind of lowering his sword and shield and just kind of shrugging, saying, "How in the frozen hells did you make it here?"
No, just travelled north and, fought off anything that came our way, basically.
Yeah, it's not that cold out there.
Good ice and good fortune.
Good guide, some fortune, a bit of luck,
Like, well, Wes, if you've been around here, would you know any of these people?
Probably, I don't know. Doubtful if it's a big town.
It's a big town. These guys look very, very similar. Hard to tell them apart. Everyone's rugged up massively. But they usher you in. They start kind of moving the caravan in and start closing the gates pretty quickly as well. And as they usher and push the gates shut, it's like a big effort to put a very massive iron-banded beam back into place on the gate, rather hastily.
Guys, this seems a bit of overkill. What's? I mean, obviously we're not from here, but why is everything on high alert? Like, what's going on?
Well, ever since the night came, a lot of people have gone missing over the last couple of years, and look, you don't want to be out there on a night like this. This is usually bad news. We haven't seen anything yet tonight, but look, sorry, protocol. What's in the caravan?
We'll pull camp. Just out of the camp. This is the dwarf stuff, right? It's their things.
No, this is the shipment of stuff that you've taken for Thaddeus, or the Baron.
Oh yeah.
Back in Neverwinter. So it's barrels of whale oil.
Who are we supposed to be delivering it to? Did he give us a contact?
Didn't he said someone will be waiting for you?
Yeah, I believe it's like oil supplies for a local contact here.
Oil supplies? Oh, shit.
Whale oil.
Whale oil? Ugh. You see just sort of like the crease of his nose kind of wrinkle. So that's unfortunate. Makes sense, but too bad it's not pastries. That would have been a bit better. Alright, well, shit. Welcome to Bryn Shander. Hey, look, I'll give you a quick run around town. Hang on. He kind of reaches within his kind of mass of furs and reaches in, pulls out a little map. That I will show to us all. It's always good to get a lay of the place that we are. Bryn Shander. There we go. That should come up in just a sec.
Which direction? We came from the east gate?
You came
East
from
way?
the southwest gate.
South, of course.
Down here. So look, it's a pretty big town. So as the guard starts kind of showing you all, well, you kind of look around here and you've got Council Hall is down this way. If you head more into the city, then you've got the Town Hall right in the middle. Eastgate, if you wanted to head off in that direction. I don't know if any of you are religious, but you've got the House of the Morning Lord, which is up kind of like to the northeast. The Northgate, if you want to head up that way. And if you're looking for blades or anything, Black Iron Blades is a pretty good spot as well. But I guess a lot of people come here for the North look. It's pretty much the biggest tavern that we've got. But look, take it. This is yours. I'm just amazed that you managed to bring a caravan all the way here. We haven't seen anyone for a long time.
So, obviously we got a caravan and axe beaks. So once we deliver our goods, we can park our axe beaks at the stables?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just talk to some of the people that work there. They'll be able to take care of you. But yeah.
Out of interest, obviously we're sort of like the mercenary protecting kind for the caravans. Is there, since we're already here, is there any other, like if we wanted to pick up a job here or there, like work or, escorting staff or whatever, where would we find that info, or who's good to talk to? Are there boards up?
Oh, nice. Yeah, look,
jobs can't be taverns, that sort of thing.
There's always boards up. If you go to one of the, go to the tavern, even the North Look, go and have a look at the boards there. Go talk to, Scramax, I think is his name. Can't remember. Been a while since I've been there. But he usually has a job board that he's got up and running there. And Jesus, if you guys have got the balls for it, then I would say you're probably going to have a fair bit of work in this neighborhood. If you survive, just be careful out there, okay?
Okay, thank you. Right.
Can I just ask him what the state of the city is like? Like, how are people getting by, or like they starting to starve, or is there a supply of food?
Oh yeah.
What's the condition of the populace?
Look, things have been better. Everyone's still pretty open, and we're trying to band together, and that's keeping our services and keeping a level of comfort. But look, if you're worried about the actual kind of likelihood of the town, have a talk to the speaker, Duvessa Shane. She's our representative here. She speaks for our town folk. She's a good sort. She's the head of the Council of Speakers. She's got Sheriff Markham that's pretty good. He keeps everything on the straight and narrow out here. Keeps guard of the militia. But, look, I don't want to say too much, but actually, roll persuasion for me to try and get a bit more information out of him.
Which one of us is doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the Weiss. Okay. It was worth a shot. Yeah. And she just he smiles and winces. He's like, we do what we have to get by. But obviously it's not good. But we'll get better, I think. I hope so.
I might speak to this Duvessa.
Yeah, I mean, be my guest. I mean, if you can get an audience with her, if you want to head out towards, probably want to head out to the town hall, maybe, to try and get her to have a conversation with you.
Okay, that seems all reasonable. So Cam, a little bit. Sorry, just again, like, who was? I don't remember who I was supposed to meet here. I was asked to check on somebody, and I don't remember.
That's it. So you've got a scroll that you've kept close to your lapel for the entire travels. When you, I think what DeGault basically said was, when you're settled in Icewind Dale, take a look at this. Have a look at what's in the scroll. And he said, you'll know what to do from there. So he's kept it very hush-hush. So he's kept it to you to choose the time to kind of start that mission.
Yeah, but I do remember something about his wife and having to meet
His wife does have connections with basically the nobility or the speakers throughout Icewind Dale. Hence why she had an interest in getting things sorted out here, but they haven't given you a specific person to go and talk to. It's more so have a look at the scroll when you're ready.
Okay, so for some reason I thought that we were actually doing a mission for his wife, if that makes any sense, like as in a relative of hers or something had gone wrong. Anyway, if my memory could be faulty, so that's fine.
That's right. All will be revealed when you get a chance to look at the scroll.
All right, cool. So we will go to the. So guys, someone said we go to the North Look and rest up for the night before we start doing some exploring.
Yeah,
Sounds like a plan.
Agreed.
Nice. So as you guys start kind of moving forward with the caravan, you can see bright lanterns.
Sorry,
go
Cam.
for it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, we actually need to find the person to offload the gear then before we go to the North Look, I think, because then we have to like.
Yeah.
That's
Complete
it.
the job, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to.
That's
yeah.
about to come. wait
Okay.
about 10 seconds, and so
All right.
you've got bright lanterns that are suspended over very narrow, twisting streets, and you can see all the lanterns kind of flowing back and forth with the wind, and it adds flecks of color to the town's otherwise very drab surroundings. If you can imagine, everything is very grey, white, snowed on. Not a happy place. But as you clear the guards and start heading in, you see a duo of bundled up figures step out into the street. Stepping towards the group, one of the two humans nods, kind of lifting his chin in greeting. Just this weedy kind of raspy voice says, "How was the trip? Lovely weather, isn't it?"
The trip was interesting.
Nice.
Packed with enjoyment.
Weather was, yes.
Great outdoors are always a little bit like that. But look, here. You follow us and we'll get this all squared away for you, okay?
Inside check.
Go for it.
Yeah. I want to check these guys out.
I just want to make sure that this is the guy that we're supposed to meet, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, at the moment, it's hard to even tell who they are with the way that everyone's rugged up in here.
So, am I a part of this conversation? Or can I insert myself in the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Want to be sure.
Never mind, I don't need to. Sterling can probably tell if he's lying with that roll. So.
And he seems on the level. From the way that you're reading his body language, the way that he's presenting, he doesn't seem nervous, but he seemed expectant. He seemed to be waiting in the wings for you guys. So if you were to use deduction, look, these are probably the people that you were going to meet with. They seem to be waiting. That's the main thing that seems to be the giveaway.
I guess I give the party the nod, and I guess we follow him, or he leads us, whatever how it works.
Nice. So they don't go far. They just start walking forward and kind of motioning towards the caravan. It's like they just basically turn in towards the stables. One of them kind of remarking, "It's like Axe speaks of wonderful things. Come on, let's get them tucked in, eh?" So it's at this point that you see that the perpetual night has been punctuated by a further collection of lanterns that ebb and near on, so like a near on gutter in the wind. Some of them kind of flickering as the wind blows through. But throughout the stable yard, you can easily make out figures among the buildings. You can see low fires are burning and more bundled figures are looking your way. Actually, at this point, I will flick us over to another map so we can have a bit of a reference. I need to copy everyone. And I think this will do it. Copy that, and where is my map? There it is. So I'll just paste these guys in first, so you can actually see when the map turns up. And go like this. Alright, that should load in a sec. Feel free to position yourselves wherever you'd like on the caravan.
And I start stealthing? Or has that ship sailed?
It's never sailed. I don't know. These guys definitely know that you're with the group. They've seen all of you. Oh, there's two Laras.
Sorry. Yeah, I was about to say there's two of me and I can control both.
That's right. Let's bring that down to one. And Weiss isn't there. Let me bring her in. Why didn't she come
Kaylin
in?
would like to be just extra cautious on the lookout. Maybe like ready to cast Eldritch Blast if needed.
Ooh.
Just on edge a little, cautious.
Okay. Let me grab Weiss real quick. So my two
Maybe
Laras
I
were
was
supposed to contain a Weiss. There we go.
Just got kicked out. That's weird.
Oh.
Don't worry, we love you.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, there we go.
I'll rope you a tour.
Is it black for anyone else?
Yeah, it's black for me too.
Oh, hang on, let me
There's
fix some
areas,
things.
but you do have to zoom
Looks
right
fine
out.
for me.
Let me just
Have we
double
got
check.
the...
Ah,
You
okay,
like-
that's why.
Yeah. Have you turned on their light?
I haven't. Let's go. What was Weiss's vision? She was 60 feet?
60 foot, yeah.
Yeah. Save and... Carrot, damn it,
Whoa.
turn that
Whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa.
He's got a bit less until he gets some epic goggles. Okay, that should be sorted out.
I mean, there are light sources around, aren't there?
There's quite a few light sources around. This is a habitated area. There are fires. There are... Oh, yep, that's turned on. There are lanterns. There's a lot of stuff that's giving off light.
So we should at least be able to see around us for
Yeah.
a reasonable amount.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
continue. Yep, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna ask if we've passed a new dawn yet. Technically, because it's hard to tell.
Technically,
would the
yes. Technically, yes. So
Okay.
feel free to re-roll for the maiden.
It's just I had temp hit points from the other ones. I was like, that might not roll over. Just
Uh-huh.
want to double check. So...
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay. Awesome. So remove those hit temps.
All right, go for it. Okay, so as you guys are moving forward, you can see the kind of collection of people around fires. You can see a couple of people beside what looks like a little campfire. You can see the two men that are kind of leading you towards the stables, and just kind of standing underneath one of the lamplights is someone who's kind of pulled back all of the hoods and garbs and wraps and scarves from their head. That gentleman, you can see... Oh, I lost my spot. Yeah, it's very kind of thin, gaunt-faced, and is twitching like a toothpick in between his teeth. Calls out and says, "Shipment made it. Well done. We could use a crew like you in these parts. Tell me, what trouble did you find on your way?"
I look at John to answer.
Oh, you want me to answer? All right.
Well, I'm nobody.
Well, we couple of let's just say humanoid raiders who won't be raiding anybody anymore.
Nice.
A few monsters.
Giants.
I don't know if you could see at the top of our caravan here, like these big things that blow out fire and so forth. What are they called again? Remores?
Oh, Jesus, eh? That's pretty handy.
And then
Yetis.
what Yetis? We never fought any Yetis.
Oh, that's right. Kaelin definitely didn't fight any Yetis. That's right.
Sterling looks at you,
Yeah.
gives her a look.
Sorry, I missed that. I was chatting to my brother. What?
Sterling wants to know about the Yetis, or he says we'll talk about the Yetis later.
What Yetis? I know nothing about Yetis.
Exactly.
You've already been dug. Your comrade has. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. Looking back to these guys, I said, don't worry about the internal politics. And I don't know, some weird monsters, like very hard to hit, like only susceptible to silver or magic or something like that. Very weird.
Jesus, sounds
A
exotic.
strange man.
Some dude who decided to
Wasn't there a strange man by?
Yeah, some guy who shot us with
Sorry.
like snake arrows.
Snake arrows, Jesus. He kind of looks over at one of his kind of companions just over to his right and just looks and shrugs and says, I haven't heard of any snakes. The other one just kind of shakes his head. It's like, it sounds like you've got quite an exotic menagerie that you've managed to wade through to get here. I must say, I think I'm impressed. I'm almost honored that you managed your travels all the way to our little humble abode here. But look, you can leave the caravan here. Where are you staying tonight?
I guess.
We haven't made it that far yet.
Yeah, north. We're looking of checking out the north something. North look. North
All right.
north face.
Yeah, my friend's heard of a tiny hut out there that we can use.
Maybe the north look would probably be a little bit more to your pleasure. Tell you what, job well done. Tonight's on me. Why don't you go get yourselves a room at the north look? He kind of has a very wide smile across his face, and he kind of turns his head towards one of his helpers, and the smile just vanishes from his face instantly. Says, take care of them.
That's not suspicious at all, is it?
Yeah, I keep my hand on my axe.
Another inside check, please.
All right, roll away.
Can Kaelin join in that?
For sure, absolutely.
Do I recognize any of these guys like from previous times?
Wow.
He seems on the level. Look at it. Give me a history. It's probably not a strong suite, but that's okay.
It's a +1.
That's pretty
15.
good. That's pretty good. Look, there's a lot of ruffians that come in and out of all of the towns throughout Icewind Dale, but these guys, though they don't particularly spark anything off, it's not like they're wearing anything identifiable. But given the link, and look, you do understand some of the link. Obviously, the Baron back in Neverwinter is somewhat linked to this group as well. So you can make assumptions. You could probably make an assumption with a 15 that these guys are probably some sort of criminal organization.
So I'll say that.
Like Zents?
Might have to dig around
Like
a
the
little bit to find
Zentarim?
out what they are.
Ah,
Well, I mean,
cool.
we knew the Baron was the Zentarim, right? And because the crew that we travelled with that he put together with us was Zentarim. So
Correct.
we have that idea. I said, so you're gonna look after the cart? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you got it. Look, bring the cart here. Bring the axe beaks in. We'll shelter them. We'll take care of all of that. Look, you just rest up and you take it easy.
There are some personal items in there, like the what do you call it? The remoras that we plan to on sell. That's not part of the deal or the standard thing, and a few other little bits and pieces. Our let's say our dwarven traders. I assume there's not going to be any problems there.
Oh, not at all. They're not part of the deal, so have at
Alright,
it.
cool.
They can take their own direction, and please, what you take is yours. We just want the caravan.
So, just going back. What was the deal that we like? What were the like when we escorted the dwarves here? What did they get out of it? I can't remember.
They got a ride home. that was all they wanted.
So okay, so it was a ride home. I thought they, for some reason, were trying to get the carrot. Like, anyway, all right, never mind. Cool. We're done. Everybody, make sure they grab all their stuff. Any chests, so forth, boxes.
I would like to use telepathy to send to Sterling as I spare him a glance as I'm helping pack the luggage, and I go, Commander, I'm sorry, but this is one way only. But are we really going to give them the necrotic bomb from the pirate ship?
The necrotic bomb is gone.
That was gone ages ago.
That left with the other two.
Oh, I see. Oh, they didn't even come back.
No,
Oh, okay.
they
I just
busted.
assumed they'd come
They
back.
separated from us and left them.
Oh,
got
fair enough.
Hell out of Dodge
Never mind then.
immediately.
I think.
I don't want to give them the pelts that we earned as well.
No.
Oh yeah, but the stuff that's not part of the deal, we take off the caravan.
That's it.
So what
And
was it?
into
What
the
was-
bag of holding.
I think I put it in the root channel, the pelts.
I think the remores is not something we can shove in a bag of holding. So can he tell us who we might find, which traders might be interested in this if he's a local guy?
Like a tanner or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
look-
Yeti pelts have already been converted to gold.
Nah, you know I'm
So-
talking about the remores.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. He smiles. Is that? Oh yeah. Look, there's going to be plenty of people in town that'll be able to take care of that for you. But look, worry about that in the morning, okay? I like the
Alright,
way that you
seems fair.
guys have handled yourselves. How about just sit tight for a couple of days? I might have a couple of jobs for you.
Fair enough. We will head up to the north face. All right. Speak to you later. What would you like to be called?
Oh, in this business, you can call me anything you want. But I don't want to know your name, and quite frankly, probably better if you don't know mine.
I want to call you Jeff, but what happens to this caravan after we leave it with you?
It will go back into circulation. The goods will be offloaded, and there'll be another run. Who knows, you might be reunited with it.
All right, Jeff. Good luck with all that. Hopefully we'll see you in a few days' time.
It sounds good. And he kind of looks over to the gentleman over to his right shoulder and just kind of motions his head towards the group. And a couple of the other people kind of move in towards the axe beaks and start ferrying them up to the stable area. But you do notice that everyone that's kind of within the vicinity have got their eyes on the group. They seem pretty transfixed, and it's really hard to read what their emotion or what they're conveying. They seem at the ready, which doesn't seem all that unusual, but really, really hard to tell anything about these people. The way that people are so dressed up in this area with so many furs, it's hard to get a beat on what's going on. All right.
I'm tempted to use Zone of Truth just to see what's happening, but I think it's all right. I think they're just a bit shifty.
All right. So the figure that the thin man motioned towards nods to the group, and he begins walking back towards the main road of Bryn Shander. He doesn't seem very talkative, and his face is obscured. And there are very sparse numbers of people on the streets, as you can imagine. As the party nears anyone that is outdoors, they're very quick to move away. They're quick to kind of go inside or turn down a street or just get out of the way. The narrow streets of Bryn Shander are very drab, like I said. That twisting expanse of the capital of Icewind Dale is mere echoes of its former zeal and beauty. Everything is shut, bolstered against the cold. The frost seems to have worked its way deep. Not only into the housing and all of the kind of cobbles of the actual small town, but it seems to have really affected a lot of the people as well. So after walking pretty much the entire length of the town, you get a good lay of the land, so you become pretty familiar with the map and moving through the main body of Bryn Shander. But you can see at the end, right up at the north gate, you can see that there's an inn that glows by that gate. Welcoming call of a warm fire, undoubtedly some good meal and ale. You can see the signboard flapping in the wind. It's called the North Look.
Lost you there.
The signboard flapping.
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay, all good. So yeah, you can see the signboard flapping in the wind. The North Look is the name of the tavern. So with the crunch of snow and ice, the rather quiet guide pushes the door open. You can see like snowflakes dancing in a swirl as you all enter. Actually, I'll flick us. I've got to... I was just going to say, that last scene went pretty well. I wasn't sure which way that was going to go. But let me just copy you guys over to another map, because...
Why did you
not?
expect they would go sideways?
This is us we're talking about.
Like, it nearly did.
Let me flick us over to a lovely little tavern map. Where is it? That'll do. Okay, that should load up in just a sec. Oh, I've just got to pop everyone on. That's gonna be something. Okay.
It's the drinks menu.
Yeah.
Andy?
Okay, everyone made it. Nice.
Got the weird light effects again.
Makes sense.
There's lots of light inside. It's all good.
Okay, are we in a turn order?
All right. So yep, as the guide kind of pushes the door open, and you can hear like the din of like ale-fueled conversations just kind of spilling out onto the street as soon as the door opens. Your guide per se doesn't pause or disrobe or anything. He just marches straight to a gentleman at the bar, and this very loudly crowd just hushes, and all that he exchanges is he says, "Scram, take care of him." And a weighty leather bag bangs onto the counter. All eyes are on the party as the guide turns on his heel and leaves without a word. He's out of there. Let me let's pull up a little bit of stuff.
I don't know. When somebody says take care of them, it has my
High
Yes.
alert. Oh,
Alarm bells ringing.
Like,
So
you'll get what
suspicious.
you'll get what you deserve, or it's like
It's just Icewind Dale hospitality.
Jeez, what do we deserve, Wayne?
you deserve unicorns and rainbows and Skittles and vanilla ice cream.
Aww.
I like the sound of that.
I was gonna eat a unicorn today. I decided against it.
Aww.
especially when they're bubblegum flavour. It's just horrible.
Okay, let's see if this map is behaving itself now. Boo, boo, boo. You guys can see okay when you're in there?
Oh, wait, we're not in. Sort of. I mean, you got weird shadows.
Cool.
Yeah. So he's told
Yeah,
him to sort that.
Lighting effects and everything.
I'm gonna walk back out of the tavern and then kick the door open as I come back in and be like, alright, bartender, can I get a round for everyone in the bar, please?
All right.
Everyone who's watching us is just seeing this halfling come in, turn around, walk out, shut the door, and then kick the door back open.
But do you remember Emperor's New Groove when Kuzco kicks that fucking massive double door and like bursts into the room?
Yeah, and sends the
gets knocked
poor old guy
backwards.
flying. Yep.
No, like the one where it actually bursts open. It's like boom, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Knock some poor old guy out the way. Yeah.
Well, he shouldn't have been in the way.
Nice. So, like, from the quiet that fell across the entire tavern, it kicks back up. Everyone's kind of talking, drinking, continuing on with whatever they were doing. There's a couple of shifty looks that come your way. And the gentleman behind the bar just kind of walks up and kind of opens his arms up to the crowd, or the small crowd that's in front. And any takers? And you see everyone just kind of continue about their way. No one gets up, no one kind of heads to the bar to kind of take up on the offer. Which seems a little odd, but look, they're a pretty motley lot that are in here as well.
Seeing that, I'll
What was
put
the
my
offer,
hand up.
sorry?
Be like, I will.
What was the offer? Sorry, Cam?
Oh, nice. So, as Carrot did a 180 and kind of walked out and then kicked the door open again, he said, "Drinks are on me," and everyone, the bartender's just kind of opened his arms to everyone and said, "Well, does anyone want to take him up on that?" And everyone's just continued drinking. They're just like completely unfazed.
All right.
Aw.
Go,
I'll put my arm around Carrot and say I'll have a drink with you.
I'll join them.
go up to the bartender and like, that's the only time I've ever seen that happen. What's going on?
Well,
Are they afraid of something?
sure. So the guy behind the bar, from what you can tell, he's the inn's proprietor. If you remember, the guy that walked in called him Scram. But he's a pretty lithe-looking guy. Seems friendly. Long kind of dark hair, little kind of tiny goatee mustache, which seems a little bit out of sorts if you look around the group. Everyone seems to be a little bit more ill-kept. He seems to have a little bit more decorum. He just kind of smiles and nods sideways and said, "Well, welcome to Bryn, Shander. Look, I didn't want to say anything, but you keep some pretty interesting company. Please don't take that as any offense or anything, but
Oh, I'm well aware they're interesting. Fuck. Just
Yeah, look,
the-
we yeah, don't worry about them. That's cool. Hey, look, I guess it'll take a while for people to warm up to us, so don't worry about it. We're obviously new. We've travelled from south. Can you get us a table and some drinks and some food for my friends, and maybe play? Like, is there some rooms for the night? We're pretty tired.
hey, now you're talking my language. Welcome to the north. Look, I am Scramsax. I will be your proprietor here for the, well, foreseeable future, hopefully, if you want to stay for a couple of nights. But it looks like, and he just kind of pokes the leather satchel that's on the bar in front of him. I think you're going to have a good time. Look, pull up a spot. Anywhere. Oh shit! Hang on. Let me move them out the way. You just see him kind of scoot under the bar for a second and moves towards the larger kind of table that's got a couple of people on there. So sorry, I know it's almost like moving furniture, but could you guys move your fat asses? I've actually got a paying patron. Piss off. And you see it's like an older, very old, what is he? I'm trying to remember. Gnome, of all things, kind of hobble off and he seems to be swearing under his breath, but kind of pulls up a chair with someone else. Another dwarf that just kind of, one male, one female, that don't seem too fussed. They just kind of find somewhere else to go sit. And Scramsack's just kind of motioning over. It's like, see, look, and you think there's no hospitality here. Look, these good fellows letting up a table for you. Come on, sit down. Be my guest, I guess.
Everything just feels a bit awkward, doesn't it? Sure, thank
Kaylin
you.
just kind of like does her little delicate walk over and then just sits in the chair and smiles innocently.
Nice. And Scramsax kind of pulls the chair out for you and slides it in for you. It's like, see, service that you will not find anywhere else in Icewind Dale, I tell you.
I say very softly and trying to like get my Papa's groove on and just say thank you and like give him a bit of a wink and a smile.
Oh, shit, you're a naughty little one. Jesus, you're probably young enough to be my daughter. Forget I said that. What would you like to drink?
Mead!
Mead? Oh, shit. Look, I'm just going to be straight up with you. The only mead I've got is called Old Stinky, and they call it that for a really good reason. Look
On the menu, it sounded like there was one called Coffer's Kiss. Is that it?
There is. It's a little harsh, but look, if I was going to be you and I had a bit of gold to throw around, Fire Breath Ale, all the way. The nights get cold here.
What's the deal with the Elven Battle Spirit?
Oh, 350 gold for a bottle.
Yep.
Can
Why?
you like can you like put a light source on the drinks menu? Because otherwise we're gonna keep going outside to have a look at what the menu says.
I can do that.
Like a shit restaurant. I'm definitely having the sea shanty. How can I try and not have a sea shanty? Come on.
I'll have the one he suggested, the Fire Breath or something. I can't read it now. I've got to move myself back out.
That should be better. I think I've plonked some lights around it now, so you should.
No, I think you've got
I
virtual
still
walls.
can't see it.
You've got
The
virtual
walls are in the way. Gotcha.
Yeah, the walls are.
Hi, you were defeated by your own walls. Alright. Everybody outside, let's read the
So,
Fire Breath Ale.
okay. So the Elven Battle Spirit, it's 350. Why? Like, what's so special about that?
Because it's fucking good.
I'll
Look,
give
to
it a
be
look for
honest, I've only got 3 bottles of it, and I've never touched it myself. It's expensive. I don't know if it's shit.
The Kazoof's Kiss and Fire Breath Ale, that just says 58. 58 what?
Oh, sorry, 5G.
silver.
It's
5G.
a G
5G.
next to it.
Oh,
it's
it's
a weird
5G.
font.
Alright, I think it's
350 is a bit much for me, but I might come back for it later.
And here I was thinking it said 5S as in 5 silver.
Ooh.
That's what I thought.
Oh, hang on.
Because
No,
given
you're right.
that it
You are
says
right.
2G.
Sorry. You are right. It
below.
is silver.
5 silver.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes, only 5 silver, which is, it's a little bit more expensive for a drink. It's definitely not a copper, so it's sitting around mid-range.
alright, so mid ranges for the table, I assume then?
Done.
Yep,
Okay. And you see him just kind of rattle off, and he was like, okay, fire breath, sea shanty. Shit, you didn't order bilge water, did you? No, that was the sea shanty. Right.
I'll just step by these guys. What are you guys drinking?
Oh, nice. All right, what have we got? So you see, one is, she's wearing less than what the others are. She's wearing kind of like furs and stuff around her torso, but her arms are bare, which seems a little bit weird, that everyone else is so covered up. And she's sporting a pretty epic mohawk down the middle of her head as well. You see her just kind of hold her mug and just glares at Carrot. You just get the distinct feeling that he's seconds away from getting some sort of pint smacked across his head, whereas the other kind of smaller gnome, who's kind of up on his chair and his feet aren't touching the ground, he's got an ale, but he just kind of smiles and looks up and says, "Oh, hello. Who are you?"
I'm new here. I just want to know what to drink. Like, they've got a fairly extensive menu, and I've never tried any of this. I was looking for a recommendation.
Oh, hi, I'm new. Who are you?
Oh, sorry. My name's Kash.
Oh, I don't think they've got any here. It's been a while.
Carrot,
No.
Carrot,
You
Carrot,
seem like you're my kind of people.
You've got
I'm
a
gonna get 3 slugs.
You've got a distinct feeling that this guy is very old and is not making a lot of sense.
Yep, I'm gonna get in time.
Carrot, I would just how about this? Why don't we warm up to them slowly? I think the whatever we're doing is not working. Like, this crowd is not. It's not the regular crowd. However you
I'll still
however
pay for the 2 drinks and I'll walk off.
however you think things work in the normal world, let's just pretend we're not in that world anymore for a short time.
You see Carrot kind of...
Kaylin is quite happily doing that. She's
see
pulled off her
Oh,
hood.
yeah.
Carrot
She's
wave...
pulled off her hood and just casually sat down.
I have an intelligence of 8. I'm quite happily just off making friends here. I'm in a pub.
So, like, as you wave to Scramax and say, "You got 2 slogs for these 2," he kind of mentions back to the lass that's working behind the bar, and she brings the 2 out. Pops
I'll get
them
3.
down.
Like, I want 1 for myself.
Oh, nice. Excellent. So as she kind of puts the 2 drinks down, one for the kind of mohawked lady, she just kind of tilts her head, looks at the drink, and just nods a little bit. And the older guy, the old gnome, just really does not seem to even notice that there are 2 drinks there now. He's old. He's pretty freaking old.
Good man.
Alright, let's maybe Magicianess can like warm up these people. Yeah, I don't know.
I can put on a show.
Well,
Yes.
do you
Now you're
want to
talking.
ask what's his name? Grammatics? Scraminix? Whatever his name is.
Grammatics.
Grammatics.
Or call him
Grammatics is like, it's like Asterix and Obelix, you know?
Yeah.
Cacophony.
Yeah.
Scramax.
Scraminac. Okay, we'll ask him. If one of our friends performs here, would that be a problem? An issue?
Maybe define perform. Dancer, bard. We lost a bard a few weeks ago. A couple of choice words in one of his songs got him killed. I don't know. What have you got in mind?
Sterling looks at us.
I take a deep bow, throw up my gloved hands, and send little fireworks around my face. Be like, I'm not a bard, I'm a magicianess. It's self-evident.
You see, just jaw drops for just a second. He's like, oh shit, this might just work. Tell you what. Oh wait, someone's already paid for your drinks. Tell you what, give it a shot. Look, there's a few of you here. If things go south, look, just no blades, okay? Just try to sort things out with your fists if things don't go in the right direction, but hey, have at it. You just see a bit of a wry smile in the Magicianess's direction. It's like, I'm gonna go get your drinks. Hang on just a second.
Cam,
Yes.
whilst the Magicianess is performing, and I don't know, other things are happening, I'm just gonna look everybody over in the bar place, and use a combination of just trying to see if anybody's paying more interest than they should, and a combination of know your enemy.
Yep. Absolutely. Give me a perception roll, and let's see how it goes while the Magicianess is getting ready.
While they're getting our drinks, Kaylin would actually like to go up to the bar and talk to the barmaid.
Okay. Nice. 18's good. Go for it. So she seems to be dutifully doing her job, getting drinks ready, pouring them, almost like anticipating what the next person's going to order and getting it lined up and ready to go. And every once in a while looking over to Scram and just kind of smiling a little bit.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
Isaac, my phone's not connecting to the internet. Do you want to jump into the Whisper channel?
Is that connected to the what?
Whisper channel?
They want to talk about anime.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't spoken to Isaac for like a week. I've been like railing anime.
You want to whisper channel me?
Yep.
Go to the other channel in Discord.
It's like at the bottom of the voice channels.
Got it.
Guys, I'm going okay. I need to get a snack. I actually need dinner. I'll be back in 5.
Okay. All good.
So,
Carry on without me.
easy. So Kaylin's gone up to the bar and is just gonna like try and get the attention of the barmaid.
She notices you immediately. There is another patron that seems to be standing, odd headwear, but just idly drinking. She's quick to look up and say, "Oh, can I help you with something, love?"
I heard something funny when we were coming into town, and I just wanted to clarify.
You see her kind of, her eyes narrow a little bit, and she just kind of stoops down just a little bit. So, just be careful with what you ask me. I don't want to get into trouble, okay?
And Kaylin will kind of like pull into more of like the little sister innocent act. And I just kind of like stutter through a little bit and just say, I just heard that the dark is quite long here. Is that different to the weather?
So you see her kind of scoot forward a little bit. It's like, no, it is. A lot of people call it the Curse of Oral, the Frost Maiden. Everyone's got their own little belief or reason for it, but most of us think that it's ordained by the gods. We're all trying to make our way to get through it, offer some sort of sacrifice, but winter still continues, night continues.
I look a little like worried and just say, when did that start?
You see her pause for just a second and count on her fingers. It's like, it'll be 3 years now. We're in our we're coming up on our 4th year soon.
And does that mean... I mean, we came across some weird stuff on our way in that we don't encounter down south. At first I thought it was just normal for up here because I'm not from here, but does that mean there's more weird creatures out there and it's more dangerous than it should be?
A lot more. No one travels between the towns anymore. It's too much. It's too dangerous. I've got family in Targos and I haven't even heard word from them. No one's running messages. No one's doing anything. It's too dangerous.
Do you want us to carry some messages for you?
I'll ask that because I don't think Carrot's actually there, or she's.
Oh, sorry.
I- Well, I guess we're probably going to be heading out to other areas at some point. Might have to make sure my boss understands it's very dangerous out there, but would you like me to carry on a message to anyone particularly?
Oh, you see her kind of stammer for a second. She's like it wasn't even an option. I don't have anything. I don't. How much would it cost?
Oh, if we're traveling there, it just wouldn't be any cost at all. We're going that way, so if we are going that way, I'd be happy to drop it off for you. I'll have to confirm with where we're going, and I don't know how long we're staying, but if you do have a message, come and find me and I can pass it on for you.
I will. I'll pen something. Tonight you're staying?
I believe so.
Well, I'll be tending your room anyway if you're staying, so I'll pass you something.
Sure. Just us. Because I think we're still technically undercover up here. I'll just say ask for Lynn.
Ask for Lynn. Okay, I'll do that. She sees a warm smile kind of crossing her face. She looks very, very grateful. And just smiles and continues about her duties, her job.
I'll watch, I forgot his name already.
Scram.
The barman, and as he goes, yeah, Scram. As he comes to bring back all our drinks, I'll kind of like rush over to help him, kind of thing.
Oh, nice. So as he kind of dips under the, if you can imagine, it's one of those bars where at one part, kind of where the cheese wheel is, there's like a hollowed out section of the bar, so it doesn't lift. He just stoops down and kind of gets low to kind of come through. You do note that he is very, very dexterous, kind of holding all the drinks on tray, dropping down, giving almost like a little tiny pirouette as he comes on through, a little bit flamboyant, and kind of picks it up, kind of level with Kaelin and said, "Your drink for you?"
Thank you. I can help you take those to the table, or I can take them.
Oh, I appreciate it, but where would my manners be if I have the patrons doing the work? Come on, let's go sit.
I'll follow him back to the table.
Okay.
And then sit next to Sterling.
Nice. Okay, I shall pause for a sec for people to come back with their snacks and stuff. I might even go grab a drink. Just before I go through what Sterling sees in his perception roll. No, he's back. Okay.
What's that?
All right. So perception roll for Sterling of an 18, which is pretty good. From what you can see, there are two figures that are milling about, kind of near whatever that creature was, probably like a direwolf rug that's in front of the fire. They seem very non-aggressive. Most of the people here do seem relatively non-aggressive, if not a little bit old and demented. The lady that was looking at Carrot, she looks very standoffish, and a little bit more rugged than the rest, but doesn't seem to be a problem. For those that are paying a little bit more attention, there is a dwarf, a female dwarf that is, kind of dark russet skin, platinum white hair, wearing some pretty exotic ear piercings as well. She does glance over her shoulder every once in a while towards Weiss, Sterling, and Kaelin over to the table in general.
Sorry, Matt, are you like in the bathroom?
No, so I was just rinsing off some cutlery.
Maybe we need to change you to push to talk, because there's some strange sounds coming from you.
That's not unusual. Hold on, let me see if my other headphones have charged, because those ones seem to have a much more acceptable sound dampening.
Like we hear everything, right? Everything you're doing is coming across.
God, that's a worry, because I've used these for a lot of things.
Uh-oh.
Alright, hold on.
Work is everything.
I mean, when he farted, I could swear I could smell something.
See, that's why I actually mute myself when I'm like moving around and doing things, because I'm like, just in case.
Alright, I'm back.
There we go. All right. Rest of the perception roll. Look, everyone seems to be pretty much not a threat, but potentially someone that could handle themselves. I think is probably the best way to summarize most of the group. Oh, Weiss getting in on it too.
Yeah, I thought I might have a bit of a squiz.
Why not? And with that roll, you see everything. Would there be anyone
colours?
You would know that from your kind of experience, the rough-looking mohawked girl is definitely a barbarian. She'd be one of the 4 tribes that kind of circulate out on the tundra. They do come into the city every once in a while, or into the towns every once in a while. What else? You'd probably also notice a little bit less obvious, but another one that would kind of pass as a barbarian as well. The rest, just your general ragtag bunch of troublesome individuals. Yeah, nothing untoward. You feel pretty safe in numbers as well. You would imagine that if there was someone that was going to be aggressive, that they would at least trigger and go, hey, that's a group. Am I prepared to go toe-to-toe with, an entire kind of company of people with just myself? So you feel pretty safe. You're feeling pretty safe in here.
I missed. I was away for AFK for 15, so I don't know if Magician has done her performance or not yet.
Not yet.
But while you were gone, Kaylin went up and spoke to the barmaid. And she came and sat back down, and our drinks have arrived, so she was waiting for the scram to disappear. Kaylin will ask you, what were you sent up here for again?
I'll have to tell you later.
Okay, because apparently there's something odd here. And I'm trying to be very cautious about what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna switch to Undercommon, right? Because we both speak Undercommon, is that right?
Yep.
Maybe, like in the bar?
It's at this point
Sorry?
that Scram also pipes up in Undercommon and says, I'll give you a little space. Sorry.
Sorry, I thought he'd left already.
Yeah, I thought he left already as well.
He was lingering. New people in town. He was a little bit ambitious.
What do you mean? What's odd?
Apparently this darkness isn't natural for the time of year or weather.
Yeah, I think someone's told us it's been 2 years of complete darkness. Like, that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, so that's what I picked up on when we heard that, so I spoke to the barmaid and asked more information. Apparently it's been nearly 4 years, and they call it the Curse of Oral. Oral? I cannot say that right. And it's the cause of the pickup of all these creatures. And why it's a lot more dangerous to travel. Apparently they're not getting any communication from nearby towns. The barmaid has family in Targus, and I said if we go that way, we'll be able to deliver a message for her.
Fair enough.
But I don't know.
Well, that's fair enough. So, Kama, just... I don't know, like, I mean, we could probably... Like, if we don't do things in an organised way, we might take a little bit forever. So, like, Sterling's aims for, like, the bar and so forth is to find out what's been happening around the area. And then also to find out what jobs are available. And then also to find out who can, like, take our remores and, like, process them, if that makes any sense.
It does. It does.
But he can do that through the evening, through the time as people want to do stuff. But that's sort of the aims for the moment. That's Sterling's aims. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, like whenever that's appropriate to talk about, let me know.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm imagining the magicianess would probably be preparing or finding a space to perform and do her thing.
Oh yes.
What would be a good spot for her?
If there is anywhere where she can get a good view of everybody. So if that is, whether it's on a raised stage of some kind or just at the fireplace sort of thing.
Yeah, I would say the best kind of overall view would either be at the fireplace or literally kind of just past that kind of landing for the front door.
Oh, I might have the fire behind me.
Why not? Well, so as she readies...
Has Laura been lingering by the front door the whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye out.
It's all good.
For her preparations before the thing, she's just gonna tell everyone she's gonna pop by their supplies and caravans, and what she really needs to do is basically touch base with her artifact, her magic chest.
Ah, okay. So she's gonna head on out and... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you bring it with you into... once we left the caravan, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think she'll basically let it out of control, basically.
Gotcha. So, as you do bring it in, and you've got it with you, probably lugging it along as you kind of come into the inn, you could ask your proprietor to either put it somewhere for you, or if you just want to keep it close by, under the table where you're drinking, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I'll ask if I can put it behind the bar. Yeah.
Nice. And he'll be accommodating to do so and help kind of shuffle a few of the patrons out of the way, especially the gnome that seems to be kind of hogging the fire at the moment.
Yeah. And as she puts it, as she slips it under the leaf, she'll just wait until no one's looking, and then she'll put a hand to it and start to just draw some power from it.
Ooh. Give me a sleight of hand or stealth if you want, whichever one's going to work for you.
Ooh. I don't think either of them. Oh, they're both +3, so here we go. Ooh, 18.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Well played. You are subtle as hell. No one notices. Not even the rather glassy-eyed looking gnome that's now taken a seat next to the fire. It's pretty freaking hammered. I don't think you'll be able to see his hand in front of his face. You're in the clear.
Alright, and then as I stroll out around the bar, she'll cast a souped-up prestidigitation and just let all the fires and candles in the place sputter and then shoot up sparks and change color and all that, and she just sort of, swaggers to the fireplace, trying to draw attention to herself, going, "Ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing and drinking pleasure."
Before she walks out, can I tap her on the shoulder and just cast guidance?
I give him a wink.
Good luck! Just tap her on the shoulder. Just go back to my pint.
And she'll head into the fire, take a deep bow, and firework fizz out of the fireplace behind her. And she starts, telling a couple jokes, and then saying, "Quickly, everyone think of your favorite color or your favorite type of drink." And then she casts a massive detect thoughts, just to superficially read people's minds.
Okay.
And those who do think of their favorite color or drink, she just sends out little sparklers of precipitation and zaps their clothing or their tablecloth or their drink and whatever. Just transforms things here and there for people.
Nice. You notice mixed reactions. the gnome that is more kind of inebriated kind of reacts more so from just like falling off his chair, whereas like the older gnome is a little bit more kind of entertained. He just seems to be absolutely lit up and has very like sweet and innocent thoughts. Some of the patrons on the table back here, are their thoughts or their superficial thoughts are very not critique, they're just crass. But you do note that they're, especially kind of the female dwarf is quite impressed. But the two barbarians seem to reach for weapons as things kind of pop and change in front of them. The mohawked one kind of sliding her chair back a bit and reaching for something at her side, and then shooting a look over towards the other barbarian that's done sort of the same thing. And as they look at each other, let's just roll. Oh, that's a fucking 2. They calm down. In the clear. I'm rolling really bad tonight. Okay. They're freaked out, and you can tell by their reaction, but they're not taking any action off the back of it. And the others just seem absolutely entertained.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, so she will, work the crowd a bit, play with them. So like, oh, what do you like, and then sort of, spice their food or what accordingly. Tell a little anecdote about herself, like, the same story she did in Neverwinter about how she learnt, magic from her dad and how not to call them tricks because that's not what polite young ladies do.
Nice. Give me a general performance roll just to see how well it's received.
So you still have guidance, and Garrett feels this weird twist of fate, and the magician just fucking nails it. It's like she rolled a 19.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if I roll better than that or not. Probably not. I doubt it. Ooh, you may have saved me from a 1 there. Ooh, you did. Damn.
Amazing.
Oh, that would have gone really different without Carrot's intervention.
Can you imagine? I lose control.
Burn the place down.
Yeah. I was like, no, I cast summon flower petals, not summon black hole.
When Magicianess went to perform, Kaylin moved to like the closest chair possible, and like every time he does a trick, Kaylin just does like little bouncing and little claps, just trying to be like, yay!
Oddly enough, you see a similar reaction coming from Scram behind the bar.
Completely oblivious that she nearly got obliviated.
In another world. So with a 19 plus 5, that's 24 plus 3, 27 performance. Her finale is like a prestidigitation explosion that creates a night sky and all the constellations come dancing. Very Disney.
Everyone that is watching this is absolutely blown away by it. You do note that the two more barbaric women that are in the crowd, they're really uncomfortable, but they're also amazed at the same time. It's very clear that they're not happy with what's going on, but they're also completely overwhelmed with just the actual show, like the spectacle of it. If you were able to pick up their surface thoughts, they've never seen anything like this before, and are very, very... They're dealing with a lot of trepidation here.
I'm confused. Are they like they go, oh, someone's performing in a bar, it's time to kill them? Or is it like we're on we're like what do you call it? We're Amish, and this is our year away, and look, it's like...
Holy shit. Yeah. It's a bit more of the latter. From the surface thoughts, magic is something very, very, very unusual to them.
Oh, so they were brave until she pulled out some really crazy shit.
And then went, what the fuck? She just made the roof disappear, and now it's the night sky? I'm not fucking with this.
I think kind of reacting to that, sensing that, Magicianess will flash a smile and go, yeah, uh, my study of magic has always led me to the beautiful and the wondrous. I truly hope that I've brightened your evening a little bit. Thank you so much. And then she bows, and then there's like a shower of rose petals, because of course.
You see the mohawked one just kind of gaping, completely kind of bewildered. But the other, the kind of more kind of grizzled, veteran-looking one, just kind of grunts and seems to be kind of looking away and just kind of trying to busy herself with not dealing with what's going on in front of her.
All right. Was there anyone that Sterling was paying attention to?
Nice. Okay. Yes, there is. Hang on for just a sec while I pull up the right thing. Okay. Right. This one. All right.
Hey, Jess.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mute.
No, sorry, what's going on?
All right. So, as the show's coming to a close, you do note that one of the patrons does kind of, most kind of stand up and applaud and clap, apart from the two barbarians. And also the drunken gnome that is probably still struggling to get up and onto his chair, probably wrestling with the idea of just falling asleep on the floor. But one of them does step forward kind of towards the group. The dwarven lady without a beard, the one that's more kind of dark skinned and the platinum hair, stepping forward probably towards the table, like she's kind of addressing the group, more so than anything. She just smiles politely and kind of lifts a tankard to kind of cheer the performance. She's like, "You look like a pretty interesting bunch. Do you mind if I bend your ear for a bit?"
Does he say
Bryce looks over.
Oh yeah, does he say that to us or just to me? Who does he address?
To the group. So she's kind of taking everyone into regard. Like she's looking over at Carrot, she's looking to the Magicianess, Kaelin, and Weiss and Sterling.
These guys are real weird. Like, you should meet them. Just
Pull up a chair and have a conversation with us.
It sounds pretty good. Look, and she just kind of very naturally slides and kind of settles herself in. Like she's been here plenty of times before. Oh god damn it, I keep losing my thing. There we go. So she just kind of smiles and nods. It's like, look, introductions are probably needed. I'm Hiln Trollbane. I haven't seen you around. You are new in town.
Why, yes, we are.
We are John's mercenaries, and
Cheers.
I'm one of the muscle.
You see her just smile and say, "Comedy is your strong suit." I like that.
so I am finding out how much log is from.
I look at the dwarf and I give her like a once over, right? And then I look into her eyes and I go, she's not kidding. She is one of the most dangerous people around. Be very careful.
Well, I'd imagine she'd get pretty pissed off if she chipped a nail, but I'll take your word for it.
I love it.
You do note the demeanor of Hiln is very rough and ready. Like, she's not as kind of barbaric as the other two, but she looks like she could handle herself. With a smile, she just says, "Look, let me help you out here. You're gonna find out about this sooner or later, but the whole town's been abuzz about a couple of recent killings. Look, before the murders, everyone's mind before was, look, when the hell will Summer ever return here? But nowadays, it's a little bit more drab than that. It's, well, who's gonna get killed next? There's nothing that breeds fear and paranoia like a murderer with no face. I've got a job for you, if you're up for it. And your weapon over there is keen as well.
He's always keen, that one.
Yeah, go on. We're listening.
Fair enough. Look, I think I've found a connection between 3 murders that have just happened in the last month. I can give you the details, but I want to know if you're in or not.
I think
You
I
want
should
us
dash to... Go
You
ahead.
want us to accept the job before we know what's going on? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, look, I'll give you the overview, but I won't give you all the details just yet. Don't want to give you an unfair advantage if you go and work for someone else.
Sure.
Alright, look. I know a guy. Works for a small travelling merchant company called Torgs. It's owned and operated by a shady dwarf by the name of Torga Icevein. We've had some run-ins in the past, but, you know, bygones be bygones. But, look, this guy, he's working for her and he gets around. He's charming, he makes friends real easy, and he's also one of her bodyguards, so I'm guessing he's pretty good with a blade. I think he might be the one that's doing this. And if you're keen, I'll tell you what I know, and the bounty could be yours.
Can I insight if she's telling like the truth on she thinks it's him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
go for it.
ulterior motive and stuff, yeah.
Absolutely, insight
Probably
away.
not going to be very good.
That's
That is
good.
pretty difficult.
Yeah, so from what you can tell, it seems like she definitely knows who it is. She doesn't seem to be lying. Whatever it is that she has in mind is something that she wholeheartedly believes.
This person, this other dwarf who runs this, what did you call them? You said they're like traders or caravan. What are they?
They're an interesting merchant company, but to break it down for her, they're shady as fuck.
And are they rivals of yours?
No. Look, back in the day, I used to swing a sword and used to do this work myself, bounty hunting. But look, it's just not my thing anymore. I don't have a crew. I don't really have the will to get back out there the way that things are now, but you lot look like you could probably handle yourself.
Without actually speaking, for the entire group, we're definitely interested in picking up jobs, so we can definitely tell you're interested, but we've had a grueling few days. We sort of like need to rest, and we do have some other other things we need to take care of. So is this like you immediately require some of us to drop what we're doing and go out and start doing the job?
No,
What are we
look,
talking about here?
I'm still able to apply some of my craft, so I've been checking up on different leads and I can share that with you. But look, I think it's going to take some time to trap this bastard, so it'll take a bit of time, but I don't want the trail to go cold.
Alright,
Yeah.
Sorry, can you please... I missed the names you said, but what did you say this dwarf's name is that's a bodyguard that she thinks is the murderer?
She hasn't named them yet.
I think the dwarf is the one who runs the caravan company. Her bodyguard is not necessarily dwarven. I don't think that.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think.
Yeah.
I don't think Cam said he was dwarven. He just said he was charming.
Pop it in there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, so what was the name of this person who runs the
It is
caravan?
Torga Icevein.
Thank you.
Easy done.
Can you give us a moment so we can have a discussion?
Aye. take all the moments you need. And she just kind of slides back out and goes and kind of pops into her previous spot and just not really paying too much attention to her company, just enjoys her drink.
So Sterling sort of motions for Carrot and Magicianess to come over. Oh, sorry, is Magicianess finished the show? She is.
She has, yeah.
Yeah.
And like he'll just low talk and he'll sit talking in a low voice. He goes, "Are we interested in this?" And Magicianess, can you sort of like tell Laura what's going on?
I will try my 60-foot telepathy to beam to Lara.
I would say no problem. I know Hannah's kind of heading off to bed, so that's all good.
Oh, is Hannah going to bed?
Yeah.
She's listening.
Oh, fair enough. No, that's fine. That makes sense. Alright, so I assume we're interested.
I mean, murders do need to be solved, I suppose.
Generally, is a rule of thumb.
And maybe we solve the murder. Maybe these the people here aren't going to be as icy towards us.
Hostile. Oh, I see. Yeah.
I would say that
See
with
what
a
you
great
did
big
there.
grin.
Okay, so we're in. Alright, so motion back to the dwarf just to go back and go. We've had Uno discussions and we are in. But there is a proviso, like, as long as you're being straight with us, the minute something seems off, then we reserve the right to pull the fuck out. So
That's fair. And straight's the only direction I know, so I think that's going to work just fine. Look, if I've got you, then let's talk. I'll give you the cliff notes because you've got things to do. 3 cold-blooded murders been confirmed in the last month. There was a halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarven glassblower here in Bryn, Shander. Each one of them found with, well, they look like they've been stabbed to hell and back. No idea what the connection is. I've found that there were no credible ideas, but there was an elderly shield dwarf with a nasty scar across her nose that looks like she had something to say about. So I managed to catch... Look, all I can really tell between those 3 is that the victims are the only people that have sacrifices to the Frost Maiden on the nights of the new moon. I think these people might have been people that have skipped out or have cheated their way out of being sacrificed. And the person I'm thinking, and hell, I'll just give you his name, Sefik Caltro. I'll write it down for you so you don't forget. I think he might be the one.
there's a few things you're saying there that I think we need to unpack. So, first of all, you're saying these murders happen in different towns, but
3 different towns.
The commonality was that trading caravan or merchant group had appeared in the town on the day that, or when this occurred.
Aye, they keep on the move. So East Haven, Targos, and also Bryn Shander here, which was the most recent one. So each one of these towns offer a human sacrifice on each new moon. Now I suspect that each of these victims was someone that was actually put up to be the sacrifice, but have managed to cheat their way out of actually doing it. And I think that our man Sefik Caltro is the one that's doing this. I think he's killing him.
So let's just circle back to the human sacrifice bit.
I'll quickly pop in and say, you know how I was talking about the darkness earlier? The barmaidens mentioned that they do sacrifices to try and to the Frostmaiden to try and stop the darkness.
So it's been 4 years, they're sacrificing people, and somehow it's still dark?
Yes.
Do we see Sorry, you're saying that this town condones the murder of people to satisfy some being who doesn't actually do anything, as in doesn't change. It doesn't change the outcome.
You see Hilm just smile and motions her head towards Kaelin and said, she learns quick. But yeah, you're right. Human sacrifices between those 3 towns. Some others do it differently. They offer food or some other measure that they find to be of worth. But here, yeah, it's people that they put up.
So when you say people are put up to be sacrifices, what does that mean?
Aye, so it's usually done as a lottery, but that lottery is going to be cut up to hell, if you can imagine. But if anyone that gets drawn and somehow seems to cheat their way out, from what I can tell in my investigations anyway, these are the ones that are dying. And why the hell someone like Sefik Kaltro would be killing them, I don't understand.
Let me ask you.
Okay. So, sorry, go on.
Yes. Here's my. So, do you care at all that people are being sacrificed?
I do. I think it's barbaric. I am a bounty hunter by trade, but you shouldn't be throwing people's lives like that. I don't think this bitch Oral is going to be relenting anytime soon, and from all the sacrifices they've made, it's done nothing.
Who approves of these sacrifices in this town?
You'd be wanted to talk to Duvessa Shane. She's the speaker for Bryn Shander.
Sounds like we do need to speak to her.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a conversation with her very soon.
Oh yeah.
I suspect it will be
I have to say, Weiss really smiles at Sterling's conviction about this and sort of admires him somewhat, you could say.
I assume everybody gets what Sterling's is saying and about to do, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What towns were the murders in again?
Oh, aye. Okay.
Because Ryder's a speaker.
East Haven and Patagos.
East Haven.
They are East Haven, Targos, and Bryn Shander.
So 3 towns, the leadership of each town condones the murder or the sacrifice of creatures to Oral.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but Sterling's he's got a vein on his head and it's started to move.
Cam, just a question. When I was talking to the barmaid, did I happen to get her name?
No, you didn't.
Okay, I need to go get it, and possibly a last name as well.
Alright. Actually, just rolled to see if Hiln notices. She kind of gets that. She can see that there's tension building in the group, and especially with Sterling, but she seems to be happy about that. From what you can grab from her demeanor, she's not happy about sacrifices being made of people either.
Alright, so let's turn back to this. So somehow this person who travels about is able to find out the results of a lottery, right? And who the intended winner is of the lottery, who gets out of it, and then somehow puts right what he considers to be wrong.
That's it. Sounds pretty fucking shady, eh?
Assuming this wasn't as what I thought it was, I'd be interested to know how this person knew that these people had got out of it. In 3 different towns.
3 different towns, different speakers. Unless they're all in leagues with each other, I don't understand how that could happen.
I could understand maybe he has a mate on one of the councils or something and he finds out, but having 3 separate towns, always knowing who the person is. Let me ask you this.
Maybe he has magical assistance?
Yeah. How do you know that these people were the unlucky, that the 3 victims were the unlucky people who then got cheated their way out? How do you actually know this?
Yeah, that's part of my trade as well. Like I said, bounty hunter. I know how to watch people. I know how to get information without being found.
Well, I'm wondering whether or not our friend, Mr. Sefik, whatever, is using the same sources, or do you think he'd be using different methods?
From what I know with Torgas, like I said, we've had run-ins in the past, and look, we've both worked in the same realm as well, but she's a lot shadier. I have morals, she has none. So he could be using some darker means to try and find this information.
So, let's just say we like what would be the results of having removed Sefik in relation to Torga? Is Torga have a patron in this part? Are we going to be making an enemy who can then impact on our activities? Does Torga also need to go? Like what are the consequences of taking out his or her bodyguard?
Look, I think Torga's a bitch, and I don't like her, but she is a merchant. She keeps things moving from town to town, even though she's shady. But Sefix, he's getting out of hand. This is 3 murders within a month. It needs to stop. And I think the only way to stop is to either bring him to justice by force, or we finish him.
Oh no, I got what you're saying. I just want to know what happens after that. I want to know the consequences of, like, is Torga a politically supported person?
Ah, no. She's a ruffian. She's a criminal, but she holds no sway. She stands on her own.
Can I ask, the unfortunate souls that were put up for that lost in the lottery were then subsequently murdered by this gentleman that you're mentioning? Do you know much about their particular backgrounds? I would be keen to know their faiths, if they had any, their political stance, or indeed their mercantile stance.
Or even just helpful names of the latest 3 sacrifices across each town.
I can rustle them up for you. I've got it all down in my notes, what I've kept. But as a brief idea, it's a halfling trapper in East Haven, so I don't think he's got anything of import there. It was a human shipbuilder in Targos, and the dwarf here was a glassblower. So these are all normal people. It just seems that something untoward is happening.
So what about the actual people who were sacrificed instead?
Well, that would be something for the speakers to vouch for.
Oh, we will be talking to them.
Alright. What ideas, people?
Kaylin's just gonna go, I think I need another drink. And she's gonna kind of like motion like anyone else need a drink. And then go
Always.
up to the bar. So I'll go up to the bar to get a drink for me and Weiss. And see if I can talk to the barmaid again.
Nice. She hasn't moved.
Okay. So I'm just gonna address her directly and just say, can we grab 2 more of these, please?
Oh, here. And she'll kind of quickly serve it up. You can see she's already kind of poured it and just hands it towards Kaylin.
Perfect, thank you. I didn't grab your name earlier.
Oh, Loss. You can just call me Loss.
Yes. Sorry if it's forward, but what was your last name?
Oh,
Or a family name? I'm not sure if you guys have these.
we don't really have one, but for a lot of people that don't take a surname, they just call us Winters. So, Los Winters.
Oh, okay. I was just asking because I wasn't sure if who would be the best person to pass your message on if we do end up going to
Oh,
Targos.
I can tell you. I'll tell you exactly where to go. It'll be a location. Just let me write something. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be best to write to first before I tell you where to take it to in Targos.
Of course, I was just talking to the group, and we're mostly probably going to be staying here for the most part, but we do have possible work out that way, so thought I'd check in.
Okay. Yeah. I'll write something up for you as soon as I can, and I'll bring it to your room.
And it's probably a bit of a uncomfortable conversation, and I kind of duck my head down like really closely and talk quietly and go, I heard whispers about the thing you do to try and end the curse. You guys use people here?
Yeah, the sacrifices. You're right. It's
Oh.
been every town makes their payment. They try to appease the Frost Maiden. Some do it with food, some do it with lives. It's nasty business. I don't care for it, but who am I to stop it?
I guess that's probably the same thought as most people in the town, I guess.
No one wants to put up any of their kin to be the next one that's sacrificed.
Who on earth came up with that idea?
It would be the council. The council's responsible for the way that we address. Every town has its own speaker, but the speakers come together in a council together, so it's on them.
This town's run by a speaker. Does the speaker have... Is it like a council? Does each town have its own council?
Yeah, they have their own council, and they're headed up by a speaker. The single speaker is the one that will talk for the town, but each town has a collection of people, and then the council is a collection of all of the speakers together.
So for this town, how big is the council of this town?
That's a good question. I only know of the one speaker, Duvessa, but no one ever talks about the rest of them.
Well, let's say Diverso had to suddenly step down. Do other people take over, or can it...
It would be put to a vote.
Okay, do they meet, at the council building?
They do, yeah. They all get together at the town council. It would be the town hall.
And when is the next lottery meant to take place?
Every new moon.
When was the last one?
Ooh. I'll have to double check. See how long we got before another potential murder could happen.
And is the council made up of everyone of all races, or is it just particular people?
No, I believe Duves is human, but I think there's a couple of different races on there. Definitely dwarven interests.
Devesa. When you think of Devesa, what sort of person is she?
Oh, Duvessa. Well, I don't know. I've only ever seen her from afar. I've never really looked at her up close and personal, but most people think that she's doing what she can to keep us as safe as she can. She comes from noble stock. I think she's pretty young, which is a bit interesting, but she's got a pretty strong hand beside her. Sheriff Markham Southwell. He's the one that's in charge of the militia, so if anyone wants to really refute Duvessa, they'll have to go through him as well.
Okay, and where is this militia based?
Oh, all round. Some of us are called on at the last second to go and fill some positions, but they're spread all over the place.
And I'm sorry if this is an uncomfortable question, and I'm like being very gentle towards Loss, but do you happen to know who your last unfortunate sacrifice was?
No, I don't know who they are. It wasn't anyone that I knew, so it's usually the way it works around here. If it's not someone that you know, then people just kind of get on with it now.
So it's quiet, they don't make it public.
No, they do definitely take them out and make a song and a dance about it, but most people choose not to attend them now. When we first started, people thought attending would probably show our fealty to whatever god was doing this, but it's not changed a damn thing. No one goes out anymore.
I'm sorry about that. And I'll like just take my cups and I'll say I'll keep in contact and go to walk back to the table.
Nice, done.
Okay. Well. All right. We'll take the job. Obviously, we're in. Where would we start, or do you want us like? What are we talking about?
Look, I think where we start is grab hold of Sefik, find out where the next stop is for the merchant company and Torga's. If we can try hit him off at the pass, take him alive and ask him some questions.
Alright, so but where would we be heading, or what are we actually talking about? Like, can you operationalize it for us?
Sure. So the way 10 Towns works is that things have gotten difficult, the way that we get around, but essentially we're not that far apart when you look at it. I don't know where they are at the moment because they move around so much, but Torga's could be anywhere as high up as Lonelywood, or they could be as low as Dugan's Hole, which sounds a little bit weird when I put it like that, but we just might need to find out which town they're at the moment, which one they're headed to, and head them off. Or try catch up to them and see if we can take them by surprise.
But how do we do that? Who do we ask for that info?
Maybe we can ask Ram. I mean, if you're after merchants, wouldn't it be better to go to the people who purchase from them?
That was going to be my suggestion. Talk to anyone that takes any goods from them and see when was the last time they came through. I haven't seen them in Bryn Shander for a while.
We have quite a good rapport, perhaps, with the people that put us up for the night. The Zents, who aren't obviously Zents, but they are Zents. We could speak to them as well and see if they know anything. They're being untoward as well.
Or did the magicianess win over any favors for the performance?
Did she?
Well, she definitely got the crowd going, and Scram seems really impressed. He
So
has
the
an approach
magicianess
that he's
has
happy.
accommodation. The rest of us can go fuck ourselves.
No, our accommodation was paid for by the Zens.
Yeah.
I just get complimentary chocolates on the pillow.
That's my chocolate.
Which is always
All
nice.
Aelin will kind of like await an amount of time that seems appropriate to drink a drink, and then kind of like motion for Sterling to go up with her to talk to Scram.
Yeah, we'll follow your lead.
Is the signal taking just a loud sip?
No, it's you know, that little kitty kick under the table and quickly running before he clouts me.
I think Sterling knows what's going on, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so back to Kaylin goes and taking a deep breath and re-bringing in this personality that she's really struggling with. And just goes, big smile, and like does a soft little wave and has cups again and says, more please, to Scram.
See, just
And,
smiles and kind of very quickly, not even taking his eyes off Kaylin, kind of quickly pouring the next kind of bevy of drinks and kind of splaying them out in front of him. He's like, "You sure you don't want me to bring them over for you?"
No, that's okay. I had something to ask. Hold on. Oh, that's right. We were trying to find out info on merchants in the area. When do they come through, and who are the main people to speak to?
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Well, look, it's slim picking nowadays. I unfortunately have only a handful that I can really rely on now that are willing to brave it between any of the towns, which is making things a little bit difficult as some people are putting up their prices. But look, there's at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. What are you thinking of?
Did the lady who was talking to us say roughly what Torga generally, legally, I say in quotation marks, brings in?
No, just that she was a merchant.
Oh, I am not certain what we need. It's more we're just trying to get the run of the area. But I heard her name Tor.
Oh, Torga. Yes. Yeah, tough bitch, but she gets the job done. But Jesus, she definitely charges like a wounded bull now. It's not good for business.
I kind of give a pitying glance and kind of lean forward and go, has she been through recently, or is she expected soon?
Yeah, she hasn't been round for a while. Shit, I haven't... When would be the last time? Let me check. And you see him kind of flit off for just a sec to the quarters that just behind the bar. Very quickly, and seems to be checking over something. And kind of pops out again. It's like, yeah, okay, last time she gouged me with those prices, and I'm still bleeding from them. Would have been probably maybe half a dozen 10-day ago, but I think the last time she left, she was heading up towards Targos. So, look, if I was going to bet on anything, I'd say that she probably would have headed north. She's going to head back here eventually if she's going to come back down south.
Oh, okay. And sorry to ask so many questions. And you said there was 2 other main merchants?
Yes. But if you're asking about Torga, I think you've hit the nail on the head. She's pretty easy to remember. She's wears a patch over one eye, big scar across her nose. She looks like she's... Okay, I really wouldn't want to mess with her, but if it came down to it...
She's the best one to get stuff from? Most reliable, then?
Most reliable, yeah. She's definitely got a few cronies behind her, so no wonder she can go from town to town.
Understandable. And I'll raise my glasses and say, as long as she keeps you in business, and take a sip and give a wink and then kind of totter back off to the table.
You see his smile and wink is a little bit more demure, almost insinuating I won't be in business if she keeps charging me like this.
And as soon as I sit down and because I'm facing the wall and facing Sterling away from everyone else, the smile drops and there's just exhaustion on her face. She's just
Oh, God.
Maybe guys, it's time to go and get a room and have a quiet conversation.
Sounds good. And Kaylin
Yeah.
kind of does a quick look around and make sure no one's looking and just downs 2 of the drinks.
Hit up Scrap to see if he has rooms to give to the team for the party.
I think they're already organized. We just have to go up and ask which ones. And I think it's going to be Los who's taking us and taking care of us.
Should we find out if taking those rooms is a good idea? Since someone else paid for it. It doesn't seem to work out well.
I don't know. It seems to be room to room. Like, what's the concern?
Well, then, yeah, fair.
No, but I mean, if you've got a real concern, tell us.
We rolled into town with a caravan full of goods that we didn't really know who they were going to, and then they put us up in accommodation where they know where we are staying.
Yeah, but
Don't
even
know
before,
which exact rooms.
even before we knew that, we sort of knew we were coming here, right?
Sure. Yeah, fair. That's most suspicious in Garrison B.
We'll let's just see how it goes.
Like,
All
to
right,
be fair,
so
Cat will be like, free room? Fuck yeah, let's go.
all right, so we'll ask Scramomatics where our if there were rooms reserved for us, and if so, can he show us where they are?
Oh, easily. So when you go and ask him, he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're taken care of. Don't you worry about that." Loss, just a second. Just take them up. Show them to their rooms. Look, I have to apologise. We're just a humble inn. Yes, we're the best inn in Bryn, Shander, and probably in Icewind Dale, but we'll make something work for you. Take them up. And Loz will kind of slip out from under the bar and start guiding everyone up towards a set of stairs that leads to the rooms that are currently upstairs. So I might grab everyone's tokens and just pop them up there. There. I might leave Lara where she is for now. I'm sure she'll come up eventually. Sorry, just getting all my ducks in a row for one fell swoop. Do. Whoops. Grab carrot and up we go. Let's pop them. Whoop. Helps if I zoom out. There's an upstairs. That worked? That worked. Okay. So she's quick to kind of fan out and show everyone into their rooms, kind of poking Sterling into this room that seems to have two small beds in there. Popping someone. I'll just pop like Weiss in there where there's another room that's available. I don't know if I put walls up on this one, if you guys can see all of the top floor.
Yeah, I can see all that.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Magicianess, definitely.
Yep, awesome. So all up there looks like there's 4 very comfy beds, but she starts kind of unpacking some sheets and large quilts and furs and stuff so that she can set up beds or makeshift beds in between some of the other beds so that everyone will be able to kind of spread out and have a spot to rest.
All right. After this is sort of done, we sort of just want to have a conference, if you like.
Might as well do like a girls' room, guys' room, and because the other one's larger, well, has more room to lay about. Is that how you want to do it, or like meet in this one with the table, or like here with the big rug where we can all just sit in a circle?
I'm confused. Are you talking about different rooms? I'm just saying we need to sit in one room and have a conversation.
That's what I'm saying. Which room? We got this room with the table, and then we got the big room with the other room with the big area where we can all sit on the floor.
You pick.
Which one?
You pick. Go ahead.
I'm in here. Might as well do this one.
It's,
Alright, so
it's story
everybody-
time on the map.
So we all go in this room and have a conversation. Magicianess, Carrot, Weiss.
Hang on, my screen is being. Here we go.
Right. Like once Scram's gone.
You can hear like the muffled din of, and you can hear Loz kind of walking down the walkway, creaky kind of floorboards that probably worked to an advantage that let you know that she's headed back downstairs.
Alright, we'll keep an ear out for, like, if anybody's listening, that we just have a conversation. And it goes something along the lines of, I don't presume to speak for everybody here, so I've got no intention of allowing a further sacrifices of people to a god that doesn't care. In fact, for any reason. Whether or not, I guess the discussion I want to have with you guys whether or not you want to join in on this, and then whether or not we do it in a find out information and try to be sneaky about it, or whether or not we confront them, go in guns blazing, let God sort them out. Like what are we thinking?
I'm thinking there's something dodging about the entire situation. Not the curse, darkness. I mean the fact that they're doing human sacrifice and no one seems to know exactly who is being sacrificed.
Oh, I just think that people don't want to know. Like, as long as it's not them, they're quite happy to.
Yes, but how do I put this? Humanoids, when they're given the option of having people look the other way, they use it to their advantage, don't they? So,
Sure.
this might supposedly be a lottery, but not actually be.
Oh, I don't presume. Put it this way: whether or not it's a proper lottery, a fake lottery, they just pick their rivals and those are the ones who are sacrificed, or that part's irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. It's the actual concept that offends me to the deepest level.
I am 100% with you there. I think this needs to be nipped in the bud straight away, and they need to be made an example of.
I'm just asking whether or not. Okay, I'm assuming Weiss is in. You sound like you're in, and Caitlin, I assume you're in.
Oh yes.
But
I'm saying instead of going in guns blazing, because this is vile, obviously this is. If it's only these 3 towns in the area doing it, why did they come up with this? Why, and since everyone's looking away, what is actually going on? It might be better to investigate that avenue and stop it that way, rather than going in guns blazing, because sounds like the townspeople, though they don't like it, they think it's the best thing to do. I mean, they're all terrified. They want it to end.
yeah, but
We
I
definitely
don't.
we need all the information we can possibly lay our hands on before we start waving fingers and axes in people's faces.
Yes, because we may have a town turn on us and at nicest throw us out.
How do you propose we get this information? Like, beyond, like in my mind, I'd be like grabbing them and interrogating them until they gave us an answer as to how everything worked, and then putting those people on trial of some sort. But that's the full frontal, way that I would do it. Like, which is not necessarily. That's the soldier's way. Is there a how are you expecting to do this in some sort of secret agent way? I don't see how it's going to work. Is what I'm saying.
You do
Secret agent? Sorry?
We have magic. We have magic at our disposal. I just alone I could turn people into an animal, make them invisible, read minds without being detected. I'm sure if we pool our resources together, we can come up with an intelligent way of sorting out the guilty.
And at this stage, rather than going in guns blazing to stop the sacrifices, if we investigate from appear to be investigating from the murder angle, if we happen upon other information while we're investigating that, which we're very likely to do so,
So you're suggesting we approach this the way what I'm thinking you're saying is that we approaching this town council as investigators on murders, and we try to
Yeah.
find out other information at the same time.
Yes.
So somebody.
My extreme interest would be to talk to the Temple of the Morning Lord. Now, not only do I like this god, I don't worship him, but I like him. I would need to pay my respects. But I also want to find out where the Temple of the Morning Lord stands with regards to human sacrifice and what they are doing about it. That's just me. That's just what I want to do.
That is an idea. The other idea is to approach Devessa and the council and say we've been asked to. I mean, that's one thing we should definitely do is talk to the temple because they. I hate to say it, but they could be the ones assisting in the ritual sacrifice.
Yeah, it wouldn't be unheard of.
No.
I mean,
we could
everything-
also talk to the council and say things like, we don't understand where this murder is getting information, what's the connection, and hopefully in that aspect we can dig up more info on the sacrificing and how that's chosen.
Okay. We like my internal instincts are telling me just go in there and start let God sort them out. But let's go with your plan. We'll try the softly approach first.
Knowledge is the best shield, Sterling. I must admit, you need to arm yourself with a strong understanding of what is actually happening before you start poking swords at people.
I agree. Like I guess the immediacy of how incensed I am is a strong instinct, but nonetheless, we'll try it your way if that makes any sense. We'll try the soft approach.
Veet taught me a lot on how to run in and just fight, but Helion also taught me sometimes the best way is to softly acquire the information in a more appeasable way, if you understand what I'm saying. Tickle the fancy of some people. No, that was not the right word.
I think your choice of words were exactly the correct term, just not the way you may have wanted to have said it, but the intent.
I gasp and I go, do we get to be Sterling's angels?
I think that might be the best way to do it, yes.
I think Kaylin just went full James Bond there. She was like, I need to sleep with people to get answers.
Sorry, I'm just trying to breathe.
All right, so we have a sort of plan. Approach the council, make some acquaintances, introductions, investigate at the same time, make some friends, Kaylin, and I guess we go from there.
Yeah. Friends. Is that what you call them? And I kind of I look to
Are you using like finger?
Yes, is that what you call them? I don't know.
Okay, so I assume this is a tomorrow thing. Today is get rested and try to recover from the exhaustion. Is that right?
Yes, we need our beauty sleep for more reasons than one now.
Okay. There are carpets in front of the doors for each of the rooms, right?
Yes, there are, yes.
Is there a glass or ceramic around?
Ooh. I would say so. I'd say there'd be glassware up there for just and pitchers of water and just, small little creature comforts, the essentials.
All right. Take a towel or a bag or something, put the glass in, break the glass, crush it down, and then put it underneath each of the carpets and in front of the rooms.
Nice.
So
very loud.
I'm assuming it will be if someone everybody knows to step over it. But if anybody, if anybody comes, it should be enough to wake us up, right?
Yep, a pop and a crackle. That's a great idea.
I hope poor Lost doesn't step on that.
We can also put a familiar in each room.
Yeah,
standing guard.
that's the other
I was thinking of seeing if there's books in here, and putting one just a few inches away from the door, like so if someone tried to hit it, it would open and knock it over. But the glass works as well.
Look, we can do
Oh, you-
both.
Multi-track.
You hang a,
And the
yeah, you
familiars.
hang a mug on the handle on the inside with a couple of spoons in it.
Oh, Jesus.
The classic.
Yeah,
To
like
be fair, we had a rather interesting encounter coming into the stable, so we're allowed to be a little. We're just gonna make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
no one comes in while we sleep.
It's like someone
Yeah,
Is
like-
there
goes to
windows?
open the door for room service, and you just hear like clang, 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 crunch.
Are there any windows up here as well? Or
That's a good question. There are windows, not to the rooms themselves, but there are some window. There is one window that is, it's like at the end of the landing, so there is potentially one sneaky way in.
not with the
This
doors.
is the
through.
staircase
wait.
up, was it here?
Sorry, there is one that's got a curtain against it in this room, but none in the second room.
I'm just avoiding all of the traps and the spoons and the blah. I'm just going to go talk to Scram and say to him that we've had a very long and tiring trip. We prefer not to be disturbed. When we're ready, we'll come down, and we prefer that no one comes and disturbs us.
Oh, and he's quick to appreciate that. Look, I appreciate that. I know you know some scary people, so I'm not going to mess with you. Look, you just tell me what you need, and I'll take care of it.
Right now, we no one to come up here. We'll when we're ready, we'll come down.
Sounds good. No one will come up the stairs.
All right, and then do the same thing, the glass trick. Take a glass from downstairs, bring it out, and do the same thing, and put it like underneath the windowsill for the window on the landing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody knows where all the trappy things are, or at least all the whatchamacallits are.
Yep.
My understanding is that Lara also can cast Alarm. That's the way she said she could.
Oh, cool.
She
yes.
said she did it.
Yep.
So we'll get her to cast Alarm on the two doors to make sure that it makes an audible sound if anybody but one of us or one of the familiars does, opens
Goes
the
on
door.
through.
Yeah.
Well covered. Well covered.
And then I'm just going to find a spot by myself for like a few minutes, and I'm going to pull open the scroll and have a read.
Awesome. All right. So as the night, or what feels like night, or the first series of hours that you've spent in Bryn Shander have been eventful. It's an interesting take on a very low-level job that I'm trying to scale up. So I'm really glad that we're going in this direction. This is good. Everyone kind of settling down, but Sterling kind of taking a bit of time to shoot off to the side and reach in for the scroll. And it's like you'd imagine a little scroll box that has a top that can be popped off it. And as he kind of brings it out and kind of grabs the parchment and opens the parchment up, it's blank.
Rip off.
Okay, that's fine.
Which scroll is this? Was this the one given to you by the king? or
Cam,
what?
there's not like you're not. There's nothing I'm supposed to be remembering, right?
No. Although, give me a quick,
Is it
let's say
Because
history.
Sterling would remember. It's just Wayne doesn't, because we spend like weeks doing this later.
Oh
if
yeah,
you know what I mean.
absolutely. Give me a quick history roll. It's a relatively low DC.
Yeah. Well, I'm relatively bad at history.
Oh shit.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
that's-
feel another twist in history, and Sterling just rolls a 13 on that one.
Hey, there we go. So you would remember from any sort of clandestine operation that there are certain measures that often get taken into consideration. This might be blank. now, but you could probably find ways to figure out if there is anything on that parchment.
Hold it up.
All right.
to the light.
Lemon juice.
There's lemon juice,
Hold
smoke,
it up
that
to
sort of
candle.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything around handy that I can use now, or should I just leave it for now?
Hold it up to the candle.
All right, I'll have.
Obviously, don't burn it, but like enough for the heat to go
Yes.
over the.
All right, I will use the candle heat, but not bring it close enough to be set on fire.
Nice. Give me a
Yes.
perception roll.
The +5, it's only 12.
That's not bad. So as you lift it up to the flame, you don't see any text or script or anything, but you do catch the slightest hint of like a magical reflection.
All right, is there a mirror around?
Not up there. They'd probably have a bathroom somewhere.
Or you could ask a magicianess. I'm sure she has one.
What are you saying?
Have what?
A mirror?
I'm gonna.
Keep herself nice and well presented. It makes sense that she'd have a mirror.
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm sure she has a whole makeup kit.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, I'm gonna try and half-ass this one. So I'm going to get out my dagger,
Okay.
and I'm going to try and look in the reflection of the dagger.
Okay.
The letter, so I'll hold the letter on one side and the dagger in a certain way, and try to look in the reflection of the dagger, just to see whether or not there is some sort of hidden reflection in there. Maybe the shiny, and I'll try and polish up the dagger so I can see it.
Absolutely. Okay, so as you polish it up, you're using a combination of the light and the reflection off the dagger. You just see the same kind of weird warbling on the parchment itself. To speed things along, you feel like that there is something magical on this piece of parchment, and you've possibly worked with or have heard of this kind of stuff before, where people will kind of use magic to kind of encrypt or make it difficult to discern what's on a piece of paper.
Yeah, but I mean, they know I'm not a wizard, right? So I have no.
But they also know you're resourceful.
All right, fair enough. I will. I'll have to give this some thought. Wayne will have to give this some thought. Sterling will think, it's already.
So you don't want me to look at it, is that it?
At the moment, it's not my first option to
It's
if I'm given
true.
a secret mission to start just getting everybody involved. I'd rather just see what I can do until I run out of my own resources, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. It's like you don't know me.
Oh, I think I know you well enough. I think I know. I know the type of person you are. If that makes any sense. That's fine. Right. I may not know all the intricate secrets, but I'm. It's the judge of character as opposed to the judge of knowing everything about you. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody here knows what Sterling's about, so therefore it's not a. You may not know everything about him, but you know he's straight. As far as how he plays things.
Yeah, you vibe checked me.
Yeah. All right. I'll give that some thought and pick it up on the next one. Yeah. How much longer do we want to go? It's like 11:15.
Yeah, I'm good to stop. I'm knackered.